Welcome back to Let Me Pull Your Coat. This week, it's Baby Doll. Satin Doll had to leave, so I'm taking over the mic. And today, we're talking directly to the women trying to leave the life of selling their bodies. Not the women pretending they love it. Not the women glamorizing it online like a 304 is the greatest thing to be. The women who are truly tired. The women who are really scared but feel like it's the hand that they were dealt. I'm talking about the women who wake up every day realizing the money is fast, but the damage will actually last longer. And let me make something clear right now. This episode is not judgment. This episode is reality. Because the streets will sell you a fantasy while quietly draining your spirit, your safety, your confidence, and eventually your future. Take it from someone that knows. I was what you'd call a major blade running thoroughbred. I've worked every track from Figueroa to Troost Avenue to the Bunny Ranch to Cottage Grove to streets I can't even remember. You get the picture. I thought I was living my best life. That is, until one of my mini pimps set me up and I was facing 5 years in federal prison on 7 felony counts. Every night I made money. Big money. But all I could get from it was a dirty hotel ceiling and a piss-soaked mattress. All my pimps had all the latest shoes, a new car every year, and jewelry coming out of their ass. All I ever got was hospital visits, a broken nose, a broken orbital bone. I've been stabbed. I've been shot. I've been kidnapped repeatedly. All this while my pimp was nowhere to be found. I don't know if he was in the motel room or just shooting the shit somewhere, but I was all alone and I was scared. I finally realized that all the money I made, my pimp only bought me alcohol to keep me drunk, drugs to keep me high, and the tools of the trade, which is lingerie and cheap high heels. I walked the stroll for 16 to 20 hours a day, every day, rain or shine. I couldn't even rest when traveling to other blades in other cities. We stopped at every truck stop along our route to make my pimp more money, and I had nothing to show for it. One night, I thought of ending it all. Then, thank God I met Silk, and you know the rest. Anyway, I digress. If you've been watching True Tales from the Let Me Pull Your Coat podcast on YouTube, then you already know something most people learn too late. These streets never love anybody back. Before we get into these questions, go to letmepullyourcoat.com. Leave a voice message. Check the Your Post page. Read and leave a review on the reviews page. Watch the videos page. That's where you'll also find the True Tales videos. And subscribe to True Tales from the Let Me Pull Your Coat podcast on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. And shout out to everybody supporting us through the Buy Me a Coffee app and Cash App. You're helping keep the lights on and the cigars lit. First, we have Nia from Oakland, California. She says she wants to leave the 304 life, but every regular job feels broke compared to the money she's used to making. Nia, that's because your brain got addicted to speed. Fast money changes your relationship with patience. And once your mind adjusts to making hundreds or thousands quickly, normal income starts feeling insulting. But let me pull your coat on something. Fast money usually comes attached to unstable people, unstable environments, unstable emotions, and unstable outcomes. You are not just comparing paychecks. You are comparing adrenaline. And adrenaline is expensive. I know women who made incredible money in the streets and still ended up homeless later because they never built anything stable underneath it. No structure, no investments, no real security. Just motion. You have to retrain yourself to respect peace again. Because peace looks boring when your nervous system has been surviving chaos too long. Next, we have Jasmine from St. Louis, Missouri. She says she keeps going back because she likes the attention and validation she gets from all those men. Jasmine, that validation is rented, not owned. And the moment age, competition, danger, or bad luck enters the picture, most of that attention disappears overnight. The streets make women feel powerful early. That's the trap. Because attention can feel like value when people are throwing money at you constantly. But eventually you realize something painful. Those men do not love you. None of them respect you. To them, you are just a way to get their rocks of. In other words, a low-life cum rag. And none of them would even acknowledge you in public if they weren't trying to get a nut. That realization crushes a lot of women emotionally later in life because they spent years confusing desire with care. Those are not the same thing. Now we have Rochelle from Newark, New Jersey. She says she left the life twice already but keeps returning because she cannot emotionally adjust to normal life. Rochelle, that's more common than people realize. The streets become psychological. It's not just about money. It becomes identity, movement, attention, danger, late nights, fast decisions. Normal life can feel emotionally empty afterward. And that's why some women sabotage stability after they finally get it. Because peace feels unfamiliar. But unfamiliar does not mean wrong. It means healing. The problem is, healing feels slow. And many people would rather return to chaos they understand than sit still long enough to become healthy. Next, we have Tasha from Houston, Texas. She says she is scared nobody will ever truly love her after the things she's done. Tasha, let me say something very carefully. Your past may affect your future, but it does not erase your humanity. Now, does everybody accept everything? No, that's reality. But the bigger issue is not whether somebody else can love you. The bigger issue is whether you still believe you deserve something better, because many women leave the streets physically, while mentally still believing they belong there. And that mindset keeps pulling them backwards. You cannot build a new life while secretly believing you are damaged beyond repair. Next, we have Brianna from Atlanta, Georgia. She says her biggest fear is ending up old, broke, and alone after years in the life. Brianna, that fear is valid, because the streets have an expiration date whether people want to admit it or not. And one of the coldest realities about fast money environments is this: the same people celebrating you today often disappear once you stop benefiting them. That's why women have to start planning before desperation arrives. Education, skills, savings, business ownership, something real, because beauty fades, attention fades, and fast money eventually slows down. But bills never stop. That's why I respect women trying to leave, because staying is easier emotionally in the short term. Leaving requires rebuilding your entire identity. Now we have Selena from Miami, Florida. She says she met a man willing to help her leave the streets, but she keeps sabotaging the relationship because she does not trust stability. Selena, that's trauma mixed with survival instincts. When somebody lives too long in unstable environments, healthy relationships can feel suspicious. Chaos feels normal. Calm feels fake. So the moment somebody treats you well, your brain starts waiting for danger. That destroys a lot of good situations, because people become more comfortable surviving than healing. And survival mode will ruin peace every single time if you do not address it. Shout out to Monica in Detroit, Michigan. Shout out to Kiara in Memphis, Tennessee. Shout out to Danielle in Toronto, Canada. Shout out to Yvette in Baltimore, Maryland. Shout out to Amina in London, England. Special shout out to everybody who signed up for the newsletter this week. And a major shout out to everybody supporting us through the Buy Me a Coffee app and Cash App. You are helping to keep this platform growing. Here is your coat pull of the week. The streets do not care how pretty you are, how smart you are, how much money you make, or how tough you think you are. The streets only care how long it can use you before it replaces you. That is the truth nobody tells young women in the beginning. At first it feels exciting. Fast money, attention, freedom, control. But over time, you realize you are constantly surrounded by temporary people living temporary lifestyles built on temporary emotions. And temporary worlds eventually collapse. The streets age people mentally before they age physically. They teach distrust. They normalize danger. They reward survival instincts while quietly destroying peace. And the longer somebody stays in that environment, the harder it becomes to reconnect with normal life. That is why leaving matters. Not because you become perfect afterwards, but because every year you stay increases the emotional, financial, physical, and psychological costs later. The streets are undefeated because they convince people they still have time, right before time runs out. And the hardest part is this: most people do not leave because they finally hate the streets. They leave because eventually the streets stop loving them back. This is Baby Doll. Make sure you follow, subscribe, and leave a review. Go to letmepullyourcoat.com and explore everything. Voicemail, your post page, reviews page, video page. And don't forget to watch True Tales from the Let Me Pull Your Coat podcast on YouTube, because those stories are what happens when survival becomes identity. Until next time, we wish you much love and much respect.